President Trump, did you intend to overturn the 2020 election?
You know the answer.
What did he say? What does he say?
You know the answer.
You know the answer. Did you intend to overturn the 2020 election? You know the answer? That's crazy. The answer is yes. Hey, Hassan, just hopping in to say I hope someone genuinely beats your head in. Hey, Hassan, just here to say you are a massive pussy and I hope someone beats your head in. Why don't you do it? Are you too much of a coward to do it? Are you aware that your account will probably be banned off of the entire platform now for like physically threatening a streamer? An account that you made all the way in 2018, that you've had since 2018? Like, it's a fun way to get IP banned off the platform. Why don't you do it though? Like, are you too much of a pussy? Is that what it is? You're just like hoping that you can outsource it to someone else? Is that what it is? Claims to pack heat, but he's scared to hold. I don't know what you're talking about. Did you see your IRL Oomphy Bryce Hall fight? I did not see the fight. I saw the aftermath of it. I'm glad that he won. That was cool, I think. I don't know who the fuck he was fighting. I just don't understand what causes a antisocial personality disordered freak to choose to come in here. That guy that just threatened you is a Midwest caveman like me. His mom is absolutely porcine. Suck my Elliot. Jazz, you're my new best friend. Yeah, I think a lot of people don't realize, like, when they say stuff like this, people can find things about you so quickly. Like, I put my face online. Everything about me is out there. But, like, you're not as anonymous as you think it is. You know what I mean? Like, they will find you. People will find you. You will, for one moment in your life. His address took 13 seconds. That's what I mean. It's like you say awful shit online and you think you're saying it anonymously. And then all of a sudden, boom, you're as public as the streamer is. And then you realize, like, oh shit, maybe it's not that great. This following list. Like, why am I on there? You know what I mean? Why am I on your following list? If you hate me that much, that you want to fucking kill me, why am I on there? Don't follow. It's that easy. It's just so odd to just be like, I'm literally forcing myself to go in here and watch. They're just hunting for this response and looking to kill vibes. You know they're too pussy to do anything. But that's what I'm saying. You think this is the first time someone has threatened me? You think this will be the first time I get a death threat online? Like, what are you, fucking stupid? Like, you think you're the first? You think this is a unique experience? Fuck no. You know? Anyway. I want you to do well in your life. And that starts by not following shit that pisses you off online. I promise you. That Jazz SBM guy's a Twitter with his face on it? Yeah, I know. It's that easy. That fucking easy. It's always funny because, like, when that guise of anonymity is shattered for a brief moment and they start realizing, because they have the shittiest OPSEC of all time, that, like, your full face, your name, the city that you reside in, your parents' names, and everything you've posted online is now associated with the dumbass shit that you're saying. In that very moment, you actually do feel like a streamer for a brief moment, for like a second. You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit. Oh fuck. It's not great. It's not great. Luckily for you, we don't do anything with that information. You know what I mean? I'm not threatening you. I'm not threatening to come to your house and hope that, like, someone kills you. I'm not saying any of that shit. But just think that, like, just think before you speak. You know what I mean? His Twitter tweets and likes are unhinged. Of course they are. I mean, this dude is This dude is talking about how he wishes that someone will fucking kill me and pummel my head in. Just think before you speak, chatters. That's all I'm saying. You're encouraging echo chambers. Yeah, an echo chamber where one of the boundaries is like, don't openly threaten to kill me. I think that's pretty reasonable. I think it's pretty reasonable echo chamber. An echo chamber is when you ban chatters who say they want to come to your house and kill you. That's crazy. I know. Anyway, bro thought he was on kick. Exactly. He thought like he could just get away with saying that shit. So, I know. I got some fucking shitty ass boundaries. I know you can't fucking say that, and you will most likely be banned, like IP banned off the platform if you say that. For the record. But I am a little bit biased. I apologize. Classic libs suppressing views they don't agree with. I know. This is literally Nazi Germany. What the fuck is going on? Hassan, you are straight up a fascist. Why will you not let me fantasize about murdering you? Today's broadcast is sponsored by Politicians Rapping. There you go. Vivek Ramaswamy is absolutely popping off, okay? He rapped Eminem's Loser of Governor Kim Reynolds' Fair Side Chat, and we're going to watch it. I saw this and I thought, Ron DeSantis is getting the smoke.
That was a song.
I work for ISP. We often get users who are banned from certain websites and they think that there's something we can do about it, but we can't and probably won't. Yeah. Kim Reynolds' fucking reaction is hilarious.
That was a song.
So those are some fat ass slaps too. He's just like, come on, get in there. God damn. Why did he think the 7-year-old hogs would enjoy this? I like that he's living La Vida Loca, baby. I like that. He's just living his best life. Who gives a shit? Vivek Ramaswamy lost himself in the moment Saturday morning as he rapped to Eminem's Lose Yourself. Ramaswamy spoke at 8:30 a.m. Saturday at Governor Kim Reynolds' Fair Side Chat at Junior South Pork Ranch inside the Iowa State Fairgrounds. As he took pictures with fans and attendees, Ramaswamy put on a red hat, grabbed a microphone, and started rapping to Eminem's Lose Yourself. Just prior, he had told Reynolds that the 2002 hit was his favorite walkout song at political events. The song won an Oscar in 2003 for Best Original Song of the movie 8 Mile and was the first hip-hop song to win that award. Ramaswamy has made reaching out to young voters a hallmark of his campaign. At age 38, he's the youngest candidate seeking the Republican nomination. I'm going to be honest with you, dude. If you want to win over the Zoomer vote in the Republican Party, you have to be extra gross. You have to be doing what Ron DeSantis is doing. Like, if you think the older, hardened, racist vote in the Republican Party is bad, you have yet to meet the Zoomer Republicans, okay? I am not even kidding when I tell you the Zoomers are not all right. The millennial Republicans are not all right, but the Zoomers especially are so gross. Like, rapping Eminem is not the way to win them over. Not that they're going to go out and vote anyway, because they don't, but they are really, and I mean really, really racist. Like, not just the regular old granddad style racist, but they are very much so Groyper, Black Sun, esoteric Nazism, I love Francis Evola style racists that are just like nerds for racism. So Zoomer Republicans have to be fucked up because logical Zoomers are actually logical? What do you mean? Are there any good fair food pictures yet? I gotta see Ronnie D with a pork chop on a stick with 2 staged bites out of it and promptly discarded. You have to do the race realism shit to get to them. Yeah, he's gonna start talking about like his haplogroups and be like, listen, I'm Indian. Like, we have some of the highest IQs. That kind of shit will pop off with the Zoomers, with the Zoomies. Can you confirm I manage a restaurant? The high school kids we hire all racist and homophobic as fuck. It's just like the ones that are, well, first of all, that's just high school, okay? A lot of kids are racist and homophobic in high school because that's just high school. Those kids are probably apolitical. I'm talking about like people in the younger demographics that are interested in politics. On the Democrat side, they get invested in stuff like, I don't know, like climate action or things of that nature. On the liberal progressive side, they get involved in YDSA. They watch the Hasanabi broadcast. But on the Republican side, you immediately arrive at the absolute. You absolutely arrive at like some of the worst pieces of shit, some of the most groiped up shouties you could ever engage with. Anyway. Due to my hometown running for public office, who got outed as being major racist and Zionist, but people still supporting him. Yeah. No, chat. He's Sri Lankan. Dude, he's not Indian. We don't claim him. The Sri Lankans can have him. He's not Indian, I swear. Vivek is an embarrassing Sri Lankan American candidate. He's not Indian, I swear to God. Okay. I love trying to explain that. I love trying to explain that to the Iowa State Fair Republicans, okay? I don't even know if that's correct, like what you're saying. I think he is Indian, is he not? But also, if you're South Asian, you're Indian, okay? Which is not even Asian in the eyes of Americans. Like when people say someone is, dude, Americans don't even know what like an Indian person is. Indian has two meanings. It can mean Native American or actually South Asian. So like Americans think Sikh people are fucking Muslim. They have no concept. We have incredibly advanced racism culture when it comes to identifying black people and blackness. We invented the one drop rule. You know what I mean? Like straight up freak shit. There are terms that you've never heard before that are unimaginably racist that used to be in the proper lexicon for states like Virginia to declare what level of miscegenation was occurring between a quarter black person and a white person. You know what I mean? Like, I'll give you one example. Octoroon is one of those terms where that was utilized in the official docket in a state like Virginia for a very long time, until like I believe 3 years ago when they deleted some of these terminologies. Like, that's the level of racism you can get when you talk about black people in America. When it comes to brown people, American racism is ironically very indiscriminate. They discriminate because it's not white, but it's certainly indiscriminate. And what I mean by that is the joke, bro, I'm doing the he's Greek, not Turkish meme, except for Sri Lanka and India. He's an upper caste Tamil Brahmin Indian. That's why he's a Republican prick. Yeah. All jokes aside, I do find it really funny trying to describe that to, like, even if you were being serious, trying to describe that to, like, Republicans. Like, he's not. Guys, you don't understand. He's not Indian. But yeah, for Americans, I jokingly talk about, like, countries in the Western world that think Indian people are Asian, or no Indian people are Asian, rather, versus countries that don't. America is one of the few countries where when you say Asian, people think East Asian, okay? They do not think South Asian. Americans categorize brown people as a separate category to be like differently racist towards. So they'll say like, oh yeah, that's Indian, that's different, which is really funny, especially when considering the reality that Indian as a term for Americans, for, you know, people living in the United States of America, can also mean Native Americans. Which is, you know, that's how fucking fundamentally flawed and elementary American racism against specific kinds of South Asian people is. It's very specific, but also very broad. Exactly. It's indiscriminately discriminatory, but indiscriminate in the sense that it's like, yeah, it doesn't look white to me, brother. That kind of shit. Racism gets really weird and technical when talking about Latinos, since Hispanic people come in every color of the rainbow. Every white passing Latino knows a confusing identity associated with Mexican Americans. Yep. He did propose a civics test for 18 to 24-year-olds to be able to vote, so it might work in his favor with the super racists. Yeah. So. Here, while we're on the conservatives doing music, let's cover this. Matt Walsh reposted this video from this weirdo. I don't know what's going on here, but here's the song. The main reason, and Matt Walsh loved it because, you know, he's got to show as a fascist, he can't exclusively shit on modern contemporary culture. He also has to show an alternative of what is the best version of what he's trying to sell. Okay? So, the best version of what he's trying to sell, like an example of what is good art, according to Matt Walsh, is some of my favorite types of conservative commentary, because, like, they always are really bad. They're like following the Mumford and Sons aesthetic 10 to 12 years later. Okay? Art College briefly mentioned it on the first day of Asian art history, only to say we won't cover any art of South Asia. Expensive school bullshit. To be fair, like, that area is the most populated area on the planet. 50% of the entire planet lives in that circle. It's a gigantic area, obviously, Asia in general, East Asia and South Asia. So there is so much culture there. It is, one, due to proximity and due to, white attitudes. Very, very hard to cover from, the American perspective. Because that's like, there is literally there is a completely separate, multiple centuries, like thousands of year civilization that was built out there that Americans are completely oblivious to. It's just like, they don't even think about it. Mumford and Sons is British. This guy's a genuine Appalachian. Why does everyone have to shit on rural people? I don't understand. Please don't shit on this guy. This song is not against trans people or whatever. Okay, let's listen to what he had to say.
People like you wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men know the rich men. People like you wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is.
Please don't shit on this man. Look at the other verse. I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks on the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Hey, man, please don't shit on this guy. He's got some good ideas. It's against welfare queens despite farmers being the most subsidized American industry. I mean, he's not even a farmer. He very much, most likely, if he lives in Appalachia, which he seems to be living in Appalachia, he probably does not have a job. Like many people in that region don't have a job because they used to work in coal mines and no longer can work in coal mines because of automation or because, woke liberalism has eviscerated the coal mining industry. It's just like living in Alabama right now, and everyone here has a boner for this song. Let me pick up my banjo and cry because motherfuckers out here getting snapped. Yeah, bro, if you're that poor, okay, if you're a poor guy living in this region, how in the ever-loving fuck are you shitting on other poor guys? You're literally like, oh man, I hate the rich people defending pedophiles. Fine, on board with that message. That's good. And then immediately he's like, you know who's real bad? A different kind of poor guy. I hate how poor I am and how the rich have fucked me over. But you know what I hate more than that? A different kind of poor guy. Poor guy down the street. How is this any different? I talk about this all the time about like the most American thing you can do is be a fat guy and shit on a guy that's like slightly fatter than you, like Donald Trump does with Chris Christie. Okay, it's so funny that this is like the white Lizzo version of that, where he's like, oh man, I hate how fucking poor I am, but like other people that are also poor, fuck those guys. Those guys are the real problem. It's like, what do you mean? Everyone's shitting on this guy is so lame, low hanging fruit though. What's going on? Am I not allowed to just like joke? Am I not allowed to crack jokes now? What's happening? Do I have to always take rural Kentucky, Alabama, West Virginia guys with the kitty gloves? Is that what's happening? He's not against trans people though. Yeah, I mean I don't give a shit about that. Let's hear it.
Selling my soul. Working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away.
It's funny because, like, let me tell you something, okay? It's funny because a lot of this stuff, like a lot of the criticism, especially when it comes to social safety nets, is always hilarious because the reality is, there's always going to be a way for these people to survive, right? If there's no jobs, if there's nothing going on, they have to survive somehow. The government is not just going to let them fucking die. So instead, they basically let them barely live by allowing them to take advantage of a patchwork structure of like minor social welfare that barely lets them exist. So how does that work? For a lot of people in areas like this, okay, how does that work? It works in the same way that it does in cities, but especially so in places like this where there's just not a fucking job. Cost of living is already cheap. You already have a fucking house, right? For the most part. Okay? Then what do? You get disability. You're either on disability or some form of welfare because how else the fuck are you going to make money? So then turning around and like shitting on that concept is, really frustrating. Song touched my soul, Jimbo. Yeah, I mean, he has a good voice, okay? You become a streamer. Yeah, liberals are racist to white Americans. Hassan is racist to white Americans, yes. Not only am I a liberal, my name has 2 S's in it, but I'm also a racist to white Americans, even though I myself am a white American.
Drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake.
You're white Turkish? Yes, bro. Look at me. Look at my fucking face. Look at how pasty my goddamn skin is. What do I do? Am I brown? Do you think I can do you think it wouldn't look weird if I was running around being like, I'm a person of color? Like, that's fucking ridiculous.
Up, and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do.
I understand his sentiment, and I certainly care more about rural America than most people, but something is wrong when you're enjoying being propped up by Matt Walsh types and has created a rumble at Rumble's direction. This man lives on 90 acres outside of Richmond, VA. Comparable properties in the area are $2 million listings. I mean, I don't even personally think he has to be, like, dirt fucking poor. It's just that, like, there's a long and vibrant history of exactly this kind of voice. Like what he's biting from, okay? Like a long library of content that he's like basically LARPing from or basically biting from that straight up identifies the problem and will attack the actual vectors of oppression. Okay? Do you understand? It's not new. This isn't like a new type of music or a new type of song. Plenty of examples of coal miners getting fucked over with a boss. Where the direction with sung in this exact same style, with this same voice inflection, turning around and redirecting the anger at those who actually have caused their demise, rather than random people that are also just as poor as this guy claims to be. You know what I mean?
And they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, know the rich men.
What is the name of this guy? I need to find the lyrics. Oliver Anthony is an Appalachian country artist in the same vein as Tyler Childers and Zach Bryan. I mean, he's success. I mean, he will probably get very successful. He seemingly has that rural charisma. Weird question, but would you ever consider getting this guy on stream to chat about the issues he thinks about before Matt Walsh and his ilk get to him properly? I think Matt Walsh and his ilk have gotten to him already. What's the name of this song? This guy can really be so mad at Twitch chat.
If you search
Crazy
Google,
reacts about
the
male
perfect-
body dysmorphia. Unrealistic male body standards are deadly. Yeah, sure, we'll watch it. Okay, guys, before everybody starts linking Pete Seeger and shit, just hold on. I just want to see the lyrics of this song. I want to read the lyrics of the song, okay? Rich Men of North Richmond is the name of the song, I think. Okay, let's pull up the lyrics. Wish I could just wake up and not be true, but it is. We are now political slaves to a master class of politicians that can never be charged, but his enemy will always be charged and never guilty. Living in the new world with an old soul, many people who wish to return to the simpler, more honest way of life fell out of place in modern society. These rich men of north of Richmond, DC, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think? Want to know what you do? Dude. Always so fucking funny to see Ben Shapiro and Matt Walsh post shit like this, knowing they would be scared to stop in a gas station from my rural hometown. Grew up in a rural town where average household income was 27K or something, and everyone complains about welfare and disability, but majority of people are on it. That's what I mean. It's like, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, because your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, because a rich man north of Richmond. I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. That's bars. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. I live in Section 8 housing in Detroit. My haters will not come for me. I mean, it doesn't matter where you live. The reality is most of your haters, or most haters online, are haters because they don't go out in the real world at all. They do not step foot outside. They live on a steady diet of chicken tendies that mommy brings them. And that's pretty much it. Because if they would walk outside and see the sunlight for the first time, or have to interact with another human, they would perish. They would turn into a cloud of mist, pink mist, and dust. I love the, Lord, we got folks on the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and these obese milking welfare. Like, again, it hits on everything that I love, okay? I'm serious. I love this song. I love this song because in many ways, this is the most American song. Why? Because not only is he like LARPing as a poor guy, shitting on other types of poor guys, okay, asking the government to help poor people, but also simultaneously shitting on other poor people that are getting help and the type of help that they're getting, and also shitting on fat people, but you're fat. It's like, what do you mean? What is happening? It's like writing a song. It's like writing a song about how, like, gingers have no soul with that fucking beard. You know what I mean? Like, fuck them gingers. They have no soul. If I had my way, they'd be hanging off the poles or something. It's like, well, why would you say that? You're ginger. Like, what? Why? Why are you saying that? Anyway, let's continue. This song is about rural consciousness, though. It's just about rural consciousness. Okay. What does that mean? There's this idea where, like, if someone looks the part, fits the bill, and is like I don't even have, first of all, let me just say something. I don't think this is like as disagreeable as the way Twitter is making it out to be. But that doesn't mean that, like, you can't, crack jokes about it. Okay? Especially when it's one of my trigger points, at least, when I see, like I've mentioned 8 times so far, when a poor guy or someone who is LARPing as a poor guy is shitting on other poor guys. It's just so frustrating. It is supposed to build up the other poor guys and instill class consciousness rather than shit on a different kind of poor person. Having said all of that, okay, there's also this idea that, like, possibly due to a tremendous amount of animosity from liberals towards, like, white people that are poor, country folk, people living in rural areas, right? That there's so much animosity towards, like, those people from bi-coastal liberals who are like, well, they voted for it, they should fucking perish or whatever, that people are hypersensitive to any kind of criticism that anyone from Appalachia is receiving, okay, especially in this community. But, like, just because someone is from this area, or someone is genuinely poor, or someone is, a working class person, doesn't change the reality that they can't be a fucking dumbass. Of course they can. You know what I mean? Like, it's fine. Okay. Can you look at this? Rachel Zegler is getting piled on by TikTok for her being Snow White. Oh, what's going on? Are the Adolf Hitler brigades back again? People attacking Rachel Zegler's Snow White in the name of feminism to prove that women can't win? They're not. It's not the Adolf Hitler brigades. Why do y'all only highlight Appalachia to shit on some hogs then? Y'all, how's this guy LARPing? It's normal as fuck to own hundreds of acres in the country. Y'all are being real armchair elitists right now. I straight up said that even if he was actually a rich person, it still doesn't change the reality I don't give a shit how big of a area that he lives in. Lord, we got folks in the street ain't got nothing to eat. Let's hear that part.
I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds.
This is so perfect. I'm sorry. You're a fucking buffoon if you hear this and you're like, bars. Okay, this is what the rural people feel like. Okay, well, they're fucking stupid then. Okay, I'm sorry. Whoever fucking believes this is dumb. Like, this is awesome. But not in the way that I guess some people would appreciate it. I find it awesome for a different reason. Taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds? Like, what the fuck? What are you saying? You can't on the one hand be like, we need more government assistance for the poor, and then simultaneously be like, but not that kind of government assistance. No fudge rounds. What are you, Michael Bloomberg? What the fuck is this? You know who has this? You know who has this attitude? You know who has unironically tried to make policy around exactly what he's saying? Michael fucking Bloomberg, who also was a Republican, by the way. Okay? So, miss me with this bullshit. Also, he's shitting on short kings, which I don't like either.
Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world.
His voice sounds like you. I think your brain is broken.
So, these rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control.
Again, like, who does, I'll give you another example. Like, his only anger with the rich men of Richmond is that they care about pedophilia and defending pedophilia more than they care about, like, uplifting poor people, but then targets welfare policies, turns around, and then says the only thing that they're doing is they want to know what you think, they want to know what you do. Lord knows they just want to have total control. But then he's in his perfect world. He dreams of a world where, like, he gets to dictate the terms of welfare, who gets it, and also what they can purchase with it, which ironically is just, again, American consciousness, which is now a goal to not necessarily uplift anybody, really, not even yourself, mind you, okay? Not even yourself, not even your neighbors, but instead to implement a level of control to the people that you feel are opposing you in the political process. We don't even care about, like, fucking healthcare. We don't care about any of that shit. We don't care about social safety nets. We only care about making sure we own the other side, implementing the same level of control that I feel is being implemented on me by those, by the pedophiles on the other side. Okay? That's it.
Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and then I don't think you know, but I know that you do, cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, cause the rich men, north of Richmond.
That's another, like, wild part about the tax part is just like, what are you talking about? If the people you're talking about are just, like, making no money, well, they're, trust me, they're not getting taxed the shit either. It is in many respects identical to what we watched yesterday from Erie, Pennsylvania, of the Trump rally that the More Perfect Union guy went to, and he talked to these people who were so close to getting it, right? But yet were so far away. So, also, why does man have a tree blind where he records music? I mean, I think that's a deliberate choice. He just like, I assume this is his own property where he hunts as well. He's shitting on his target audience in the song. I love it. Also, there are no rich people who live in the South, Lamau. Why is Joe Biden at your house?
Mess with like hard as fuck. Golden age, boom bap type shit from the 90s.
Oh, really?
Oh, fuck yeah, man. Like Big L, some Wu-Tang, some Scarface, and fucking Tupac and shit.
You actually listen to Big L and Scarface?
Why, yes. In fact, I do, Anthony. And why?
Wait, this is my house. Why did the person who make this, who doesn't even follow me, it seems, put Joe Biden in my house?
So goddamn surprised when I say that.
Well, I mean, for a few reasons, it is a little surprising to hear that from you.
And why is that? Because I'm old? Because I'm white and old. Is that it?
I mean, yeah, no offense, but kind of.
Fuck, man. I'm so tired of the fucking ageism in this country. Like, why the fuck can an 80-year-old man throw on like a fucking J Dilla beat or a Ghostface track and just vibe the fuck out without some fucking teenager with an anime Twitter avatar blown?
Okay. Anyway, the Joe Biden AI is getting crazy good. The best part is that leftist political songs like this are always referencing actual historical resistance, and all these right-wingers can think of as, I wish I could wake up and be in a fantasy land where none of my imagined fears are real. Yeah. Anyway, I don't even know enough about the history of like bluegrass, folk. I just know that some of the major artists from prior generations that did like old forms of country were absolutely in the exact opposite side of guys like this, where they would advocate against the carceral state. They would talk about the history of like labor militarism, militant labor and its benefits, and cops and Pinkertons and whatever the fuck that was in their way that truly stopped them from achieving results that they wanted to. They talked about indigenous, they talked about giving autonomy to indigenous peoples and things like that. And now, obviously, this version of country music has turned into the very same commodity that you experience in every other facet of your lives, where it's just like, it's not necessarily about any kind of real labor action because we're so far removed from that. And therefore, all you got to talk about is how pissed off you are at some libtard for being gay and wanting to make your children gay. If coal companies hadn't ravaged his hometown and there was still a strong union presence, this would be leftist. He just has zero class consciousness. Yes. He's also removed, like, at least a couple decades removed from any kind of class consciousness being instilled upon him, because there is nothing there. This is why I always talk about the secondary reason for labor unions to exist, because it's not just about collective bargaining. It's not just about collective action. It's not about getting your fair pay and benefits. It's also about a collective consciousness where you can instill class consciousness upon your fellow working class individuals, even if you don't necessarily recognize it and you're voting a certain way. You know? And when you rob it, when you steal that, when you take that history away from people, and when you refuse to educate them, then all they got is...
Join a union. Workers of all kinds are stronger.
I know,
when they
I've seen
stand
this,
together.
yes.
Your millionaire boss will never understand your struggles. Take up arms against fascists. Ladies, if your husband ever puts his hands on you, kill him in his sleep.
Actually, let's all be nice to the billionaires and police officers. If you don't like it here, you should leave.
It's like it's not even just that. It's also redirecting the anger that you feel towards your fellow countrymen who have the exact same interests, who have the same exact interests in the workplace, who stand to gain the most from having from unifying an action in some capacity. Oh, for Queens in this. This is mid, okay? Let's just say it. Let's be real. It's mid. Why? Because he's not talking about welfare queens or his truck and how fat his truck is and how he loves fishing and drunk driving. I don't really understand that. Yeah, where the fudge rolls at is what I'm saying. This doesn't speak to your common experience, your shared experience. And therefore it's mid. Unlike that other guy who is speaking to what the rural folk really want and really feel. Anyway, so I hope you guys understand my perspective a little bit better here.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Like, this part of the song is understandable, which, he gets it. He gets that part, but then he just deviates away from it and goes to very, very silly places. Like, he starts talking about the top of the hour ad break and how it's fucked up that a socialist is serving it, supposedly, for Jeff Bezos, and how, he barely make ends meet to pay the $5 a month subscription to avoid the top of the hour ad breaks. You know what I mean? You don't get shit. Some think tank wrote their lyrics. Okay, I don't think it's like that, dude. I think this is probably not. And it's not necessarily the rich men that fucked him over. It is the rich men of Richmond, north of Richmond, are only fucking him over in the sense that they're like trying to control the way he thinks and change his attitude about certain issues, right? Like the top of the hour ad break, which I'm serving now. Yeah, no think tank wrote fudge rounds, chatter. It's true, he's an industry plant. I mean, still. Yo, give 5 subs if you fly out to DC tonight and go to Smash Con tomorrow. I'm good for it, says Swoogity Bird. Chat gives the game away and they never go outside and talk to real people and they say this guy's a plant. Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately he's just, I mean, it is real. There is a lot of people who feel this way. That's why his songs will be very popular. Okay? For sure. Like, it'll be highlighted by the likes of Matt Walsh and he'll pop off because there's like a desperate need for right-wingers to also listen to art that they feel represents their values, right? And there are plenty of people. There are plenty of people who have these kinds of opinions. He's not a plan. He's just getting boosted by people who are paid by billionaires to subvert class consciousness, who don't even do it intentionally. They just do it as second nature at this point. Don't you think calling someone a right left winger is divisive? What? What do you mean divisive? Even if it's divisive, I don't give a shit. Okay? Yeah, sure, it's divisive. What? How am I supposed to contextually define an entire group of ideologies that you can group under one umbrella? That's just how language works. I feel like a lot of people come in here and they're like, let's redefine language here to cater to my interests. And it just doesn't make any sense. It's like, yeah. If we're talking from a semantics perspective, yes, it is divisive. It is intended to divide into subcategories that you can easily define. It's not going to be 100%. You canceled that guy earlier simply for saying he wants to cave your head in. It's clear you're suppressing thought from the right. I know. It's a bit divisive of me to, for example, ban someone who was fantasizing about murdering me in my home. Anyway. Two of the most leftist events in U.S. history happened in an Appalachian mining town? Yeah. Whoa, that's a crazy reach roll. I really like you. No, you weren't here for that. I'm talking about what happened earlier, and then the defense that someone in the chat ran for that guy who was like, "Wow, you're trying to build an echo chamber in here because we banned a guy who was fantasizing about caving my skull in." Anyway, it's okay. Let's move on from this. We covered Vivek rapping. How will you get here? First, you won't. Second, you increase energy prices and further impoverish the poor while failing. You pathetic, self-righteous minions. God, he is fucking posting the most unhinged shit. I have no idea what's happening. I just don't. Oh my God. I don't know what he's doing. Anyway, here's what Matt Walsh said about the song. The main reason this song resonates with so many people isn't political. It's because the song is raw and authentic. We are suffocated by artificiality. Everything around us is fake. A guy in the woods pouring his heart over his guitar is real. First of all, that's not even true. Okay? Like, this is quite literally fake in the same way that you would consider any other version of this to be fake. Dumbass. He put a fucking $3,000 microphone in the woods to film this. Okay? Like, obviously, it's fake from that in that regard. It's just that's how all this kind of media works. It's fake in the same way that, like, I'm sitting in my living room talking to you, okay? Most music is essentially computer-generated. Movies are CGI. The news is fake. Most of what you see on social media is fake. AI, Photoshop, deepfakes, etc. We crave authenticity because we don't have nearly enough of it. It's hilarious that some deranged MAGA freak listened to Iron and Wine and decided to do a shitty knockoff version laced with unhinged right-wing resentments, and you're clapping over it like seals as if it's the most brilliant music ever created. Listen to the original. No, Matt, it's resonating because it is political. Don't soften it. The common people have a clear enemy, and this ginger identifies them without holding back, which is refreshing. This fella also wails a good note and picks good too, so people like it. Yeah, new Legal Eagle is out too, which I'm very excited about. What is this? On Friday, Alicia Stratton searched desperately through the wreckage of her Lahaina home for her Rolex watch her parents gave her when she graduated college. Suddenly, her fiance pulled it up from the ashes. You found it, she said, choking up. It was damaged, but still legible. Why did they post this? I mean, this is a New York Times reporter, right? But when you post stuff like this, oh my God. Like, if I'm that person, I am doing my very best not to have that out there. Okay? I'm doing my absolute very best because with one photo, you have told 1,000 stories. Okay? You've told the story about Hawaii being colonized. You've told the story about beautiful looking white people living in the former kingdom of or the former capital of the kingdom of Hawaii. You've told a story about rich people living in this area where so many people have died. Okay, we don't know the exact numbers yet, and you've told the story about rich people that are searching through the wreckage. Meanwhile, they haven't necessarily searched through the wreckage themselves, as you can see from their hands. Now, the reality is, you could be a normal person. You could want to have sentiment. You can want to have a sentimental thing that your parents gave you. Okay? That's fine. I understand that. It's a very human thing to want to preserve things that have sentimental value for you. Okay? But when you post it, reports are confirming 80 dead so far, and the New York Times is reporting the white settler couple successfully recovered a Rolex watch from their Lahaina home. It's just, it's just going to look terrible. I'm doing everything in my fucking power to ensure that I'm not, letting the New York Times photojournalist post this. Okay? Or they just walk to where it would have been found and found it. Clean nails after digging through the wreckage of your house. Every part of this is just like, every part of this just smells really bad. Even though, on the other hand, I do understand. I do personally understand why she would want to at least get something of sentimental value to her from the wreckage of her home. Because, I, unlike many people in this community, unlike many people on Twitter, do also understand how normal humans operate, in the sense that, when she moves to Hawaii, to Lahaina, which is where, as far as I understand, it's mostly a tourism-based area. It's also not as expensive of an area as the rest of Hawaii for the most part, which is why there's a lot of people that are locals that live there. Moving there, you're not moving there with the hopes of being a white colonizer, okay? You could have just fucking moved there because you love Hawaii. I don't know. Would your reaction be the same if it was a stuffed doll? What? What kind of question is this? What, a stuffed doll? I don't even understand what you're trying to make here. Yeah, if it was something that wasn't a roll, if it was a G-Shock, people even then would probably look at it a little bit differently. But ultimately, it's time and place. These people I don't fault these people for existing in the way that they do, in the way that a lot of other people would, especially on Twitter. Okay? It's just that optically speaking, it just looks really bad, and it almost perfectly exemplifies a lot of the ongoing issues in contemporary Hawaii with respect to white people living there, that ends up displacing native people that would have lived there. You know what I mean? That's it. Also, the fact that her freshly manicured nails holding up the burnt Rolex is, optically speaking, shitty. Even though I do get it. It's a very normal thing to have a cherished thing that your parents gave you, and when your house burned down. Because ultimately, her house still fucking burned down. You know what I mean? I think it's wild that I don't think this journalist, Kellen Browning, who apparently follows me. Hey! Oh, shit. Oh, well, luckily it wasn't connected to power. I didn't even realize. Good call, Marat. Kaya just ate my my extender. Oh, she ate the... Oh, fuck. I didn't even... Fuck. I didn't even realize. God damn it. Fuck. Cord biting is a really, really, really bad habit. Here, take this instead. Here you go. Regarding white people in Hawaii, the problem isn't necessarily white people living there. Plenty of white people live there. They grew up there and have been there for generations. We all consider each other locals. The problem is rich people, white or otherwise, moving there and pushing people out instead of becoming a part of the community, e.g. Oprah. Pro tip, buy 10 of them. It's not the last one. I mean, I have to make sure that she never chews on another cord ever again. You gotta buy that stuff that sprays the wires that tastes like shit. Yeah, the issue is she fucking bites through the bitter spray. She doesn't give a fuck. I did it for the... She used to have a bad habit of biting the side of the wood. Cord chewing is really dangerous. Luckily, this cord that she was chewing on was not even connected to any like electrical outlet at all. Like I had disconnected the USB, for example. Anyway. But the bitter taste, she just doesn't give a shit about. Oh my gosh, she went back to it. Kaya, get out. No, get out of there. Get out of there.
Damn, this guy's good.